This is me, Jyotika Bedi, founder of Happiness is Love. We make relationships better. Today, I'm very excited to talk to you about what is love. What are psychologists saying about love? What is the definition of love? What are some of the signs and types of love? So let's start with what is love. You will learn what social scientists know about love, how it contributes to your well-being, and how to cultivate more love in your life. So are you ready for this beautiful learning right with me? What is love? The definition of love is very, very hard to pinpoint. Just ask all the artists, scientists, philosophers, and psychologists who have tried to provide a definitive answer over the years. And it is hard, it is difficult. Love is a feeling, love is an action, love is a state of being. You can even say a state of motivation. How can we boil it down to just one simple definition is tricky. However, psychologists have determined one characteristic shared by all the behaviors and experiences that we think involve the word love. It really is an experience of pleasure, an investment in your well-being and in the well-being of others. What does that mean? It really means that love is wanting another person to be happy and healthy. This is the characteristic that people most consistently say is central to the idea of love. It provides a very useful starting point. Think about it. Whether it's a parent dressing their newborn baby or receiving a birthday card, all instances of love include a deep desire for somebody else to feel good and to feel well. I'm sure you agree with this because this is something which is very, very simple to understand. Often feeling love translates into an act of love. We do good for someone so that they can be well, even if it doesn't help us directly. I recently experienced this aspect of love when my partner went to the hospital during Corona and we had a hard time. It was a very difficult time. Picking up my partner's prescriptions, talking to the doctors, making sure that my partner was fed and I took care of even my children and my dog and people around me. None of these things made my life any better. In fact, they were often stressful. But they definitely helped in my well-being. They definitely helped me expressing to my partner of acts of love, of acts of service. And I believe that acts of self-care are even motivated by self-love. Only if I love myself can I love another. And when I love myself, the whole world loves me. When you make yourself a healthy meal, when you call a friend because you want their help and support, or you take time to, let's say, see this video, you think you might be helping another person because you are really wanting to learn about the other. But the thing is that you're actually practicing self-love because you are learning and you are growing. So now the next question can really be, what is the opposite of love? You might be saying to yourself, isn't hate the opposite of love? I wondered about this a lot. It turns out that the opposite of love isn't hate. Opposite of love is indifference. This phrase more often than not has been attributed for the longest time, even in our history. Even in Holocaust survivors and authors emphasize a central part of a central aspect of love, namely that it involves a powerful feeling, and hatred also involves a powerful feeling, but in this case a negative feeling. Therefore it cannot be the opposite of love. And since, like I said, love involves investment into somebody else's well-being and wanting them to be happy, the opposite of love is the absence of investment and wanting the other person to be well, and that's why indifference. So in psychology, really, what is love? Believe it or not, psychologists often say this, and they really have studied love as a very, very how should I say, a specific idea in the last 75 years. In addition to realizing that love involves feeling good, and when somebody else is well, psychologists have started to describe different types of love, such as romantic love, compassionate love, etc. While psychologists generally agree that there are limited numbers of types of love, more than just one, everyone has agreed that love manifests itself in many different ways. Perhaps so many that it's hard to count. Let me give you an example. Love can be why you forgive your partner for always being late. Love can be committing to finishing a creative project with your team. Dream about getting a promotion so you can afford to take your kids to a vacation, or feel devastated when your favorite sport team loses. Notice that the only shared characteristic of these situations is that you care about something or somebody, let's say your team, your partner, your children, your creative vision, and you want it to be well. In other words, we know that love isn't just a thought. It's not just a feeling or action, but it can be present in a thought, in a feeling, in an action, in acts of service. So let's take a little closer look to love as an emotion. Psychologists have argued a lot about whether love is an emotion. Paul is a psychologist, perhaps the most famous researcher on emotions, and he said that each basic emotion should come with its unique facial expression or show up in our body in unique ways. For example, through approximately the same activity in the same parts of the brain every time. Can you see how this might cause problems for love being considered an emotion? When you see your grandmother, you may cry tears of love, but seeing your romantic partner come home makes you smile with love instead. Instead of thinking of love as an emotion, let's think of love as a combination of feeling and thought. Love is present when you have a feeling, and second, you're able to label that feeling of love. When we look at love this way, we also get around another issue, which is the idea of love as an emotion, which is that emotions change all the time. Knowing that, how could somebody who has been lovingly married for 15 years feel the emotion of love that whole time? They didn't. They just keep having feelings that they have decided were driven by love. And that's why the most amazing concept, which is the concept of love languages. We've made videos around it. We've made vlogs around it. Please go to our Happiness is Love YouTube channel and see what are love languages. 30 years ago, amazing author called Gary Chapman introduced this idea of 5 love languages, ways of showing another person that you love them. Chapman wrote that each person has some love language that they may prefer over others, and that makes their relationships close, particularly romantic ones, which I'm here to share with you are follows. Number 1, words of affirmation. Telling your partner, for instance, I've been married for 20 years, telling your partner that you appreciate them or simply expressing affection and care. Second love language, quality time. Spending time together where you're focused on being present with your partner. Third, acts of service. Doing things to make your partner's life easier or even more enjoyable. Number 4, gifts. Receiving something that shows the other person that you're really thinking about their wants and needs. Number 5, physical touch. Using physical signs of affection, which could even mean sexual intimacy, to express love. Now, since the idea of love languages have become so popular, psychologists have done research to see whether people who follow Chapman's ideas have stronger relationships. Only recently have psychologists started to find a connection between love languages and relationship satisfaction. So if you're seeing this video, I really want you to do a quick check-in to understand what is your love language, what is your partner's love language, what is your parents' love language, your children's love language, because the goal really is to know your love language, 1, 2, to express your love language to the other, and third, learn to speak the language of the other so that we all can communicate more effectively. And the way I like to give love is the way I like to receive love. The way I express love is the way I expect love. So if I do not communicate what love truly means to me, how is my partner going to guess and get into my mind to understand what love means to me? What are some of the benefits of love? Well, research has shown again and again that people who report feeling more love and having more closer relationships are happier, are healthier, and are more successful. Well, research is saying it, psychology is saying it, science is saying it. So I'm here to tell you that love is the most powerful force. It's a fundamental need for you and me and for everyone. And what are some of the types of love? Compassionate love. This is the kind of love between friends and family members. Couples who are older or have been together for a long time may experience compassionate love as well. This love is driven by shared experiences, affection, and commitment to each other. Second, romantic love. Romantic love is distinguished from other types of love by its passion. In romantic love, you feel not just affection, but often sexual desire for the other. And then we have, again, the first was companion love, and the third is compassionate love, where compassionate love and romantic love happen between two people who might consider themselves equal. Compassionate love is usually what takes people when one person feels driven to care for another person, especially somebody who might not be as capable or independent. Caregiving is the hallmark of compassionate love. Think of the parents of newborn or the people who care for the terminally ill. So I'm here to tell you, love is a fundamental need, and love has its different forms and shapes and different definitions, and our goal really is to cultivate more love and to practice more self-love, because all love first springs from self-love. Till the time I don't love myself, I cannot love the other. My compassion is incomplete till the time it does not include me. So let's all sign up for a lifetime commitment of first loving ourselves and then truly loving others. Only then we can change, not the world, but our world. And one of the quotes that I absolutely love is that in the end, the love that you make for yourself is equal to the love you give and you take. Love yourself first and everything else will fall in place. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world, and it takes courage to love. But pain through love is the purification, it's the purifying factor which those who love generously know. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And finally, the art of love, the music of love, the dance of love is largely the art of persistence, like Albert Ellis said. I hope this video was useful to you. Please reach out to us. We at Happiness is Love are here because we care. If you're struggling with any aspect of your life, whether it is building skills, building healthy habits, you want to upgrade your creativity, you want to upgrade your motivation, you want to upgrade your mindset, we are here for you. We care, and lots of our love. Keep smiling, keep shining, keep inspiring.